we continue bringing you top-notch youth basketball action live from the Antipolo Sports Hub. And for our fifth game, we feature Elite 16 under action from the north at the top of two teams in the standings clash. As we continue the live coverage of the country's premier youth basketball league, the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And for our games today, again, it was Davao and Rizal going at it in our first set of three. And for our second set, Antipolo and Bulacan, 18 under done, now heading into our ever elite 16 under division. Good afternoon, everybody. The name is Cho Pangilinan, covering the action still with Coach Mark Dandan and with our courtside reporter, Ms. Rinoa Sanchez. Coach Mark, Bulacan 5-0, first in the standings. Antipolo naman, the homeowners, third in the standings, 4-1.
Interesting matchup here today for everybody back home. Two of the top teams dito sa 16 under natin. Bulacan, their 18 under team who was also undefeated, lost to the home team Antipolo. Will Antipolo repeat the process here?
And now let's talk about first. Actually, both teams coming from a win. First for Bulacan, 16-point win against the Marikina Junior Shoemasters.
What Bulacan did well there was the points from turnovers. You're looking at the 34 points from turnovers because they forced Marikina into 34 turnovers. So it's a point per turnover, and that's very good for Bulacan.
And for Antipolo, winning as well, a 49-point win against the Rizal Switch Fiber.
Absolute domination there for the Antipolo JY Titans. What stands out are the fast break points, 37-10 in the favor of the JY Titans.
So both teams looking to continue their winning ways, but only one shall remain on top today. And now let's turn it over to our venue announcer, Mr. Denzel Santiago.
Good afternoon, Junior MPBL fans. Basketball action continues here in Antipolo Sport Hub. This is the Season 2 of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. This is the battle between the 16 under of Bulacan JT Taipan and Antipolo JY Titans. We are live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And now it's time to meet the starters from your Bulacan JT Taipan. Guard number 5, Kyle Francisco. Also guard number 15, Dangel Hernandez. Forward number 21, Navarine Cruz. Also forward number 22, Gerald Bautista. Playing center number 26, John Lord Cruz. Head coach of Bulacan JT Taipan, Zaldi Orilosa. Assistant coach Jason Senidosa. Ryan Berzaga. Team manager Charles Kimpo. And now it's time to meet the starters from your Antipolo JY Titans. Guard number 2, Kyle Abay. Also guard number 26, J.N. Zeliso. Forward number 1, Marco Umbali. Also forward number 9, Ranzel Bayor. Center number 31, Zeric Duterte. Head coach of Antipolo JY Titans, Mario Gotzera. Assistant coach Ren Lim, Jean Belesa.
And now for our Doride Bola ng Pinoy team starters. For Antipolo, we have Abay, Delizo, Umali, Mayor, and Duterte. For Bulacan, we have Francisco, Hernandez, Cruz, Bautista, and another Cruz as we're in our ever elite 16 under division. And before we continue the coverage, special thanks to Pound for Pound Fitness, Doride Bola ng Pinoy, Pound Active, Wing Bowl, Nature Spring, Jinky Skin, Chris Jacobs, and Don Benito's ang pambansang kasaba. We would also like to invite everyone to tune in to the upcoming Junior MPBL 21 under D-League. Again, we're able to witness not so young gentlemen compete in a high level, hopefully their ticket to the pros. As we see both teams now attempting one shot and some contact instantly inside.
And it's your boy, Derek Duterte, immediately in the middle of the scrum. If our folks at home want to see a young Pinoy version of Zion Williamson without the dunks, come watch Derek Duterte.
Basket and one right here. How do you like that one? This time it's courtesy of Mr. Umali. First points of our ball game. Let's take another look in this pound for pound fitness foul. Counted move.
Nothing good happens when you allow the ball to get straight downhill in the middle. And no rim protection for Bulacan. Ooh, that's a bad miss on the free throw.
Still, it's 2-0. First bucket of the ball game. In favor of Antipolo. Here they go, Francisco up top. They pass it around. Bautista to the other side. Mid-range jumper, that is smooth. Courtesy of number 15, Daniel Hernandez. And on the other side, Umali misfiring.
Umali looks like he has a problem gripping that basketball when he shoots. He's been trying to dry off his hands. It's kind of humid here.
Again, we have a rainy afternoon in the Antipolo Sports Hub. Meanwhile, Umali attacks the lane. Another conversion for Mr. Umali.
That's the second time now that Umali is able to get through the middle. Again, no rim protection whatsoever for Bulacan.
Here goes Bulacan. Hernandez, another one. That won't fall that time. This time, offensive board. They're able to get it back, but Antipolo nabbing a steal. On the other side, airball to convert. How do you like that one? It's now 6-2, 4-point lead for Antipolo. They get another steal. On the other side, another conversion, still courtesy of John Nathan Delizo. And that will prompt Bulacan to call a nature spring timeout. They're now down by 6. We take another look. And this first conversion by Delizo. And the next one still with him. You know, courtesy of that pass from Abay. So me and Coach Mark shall be back.
Hindi lang basketball ang kayang laruin ng mga players ng Bulacan JT Taipan, bagkus ay magaling rin daw ito magbilyar. Bukod pa doon ay mga singers din ang kanilang mga player at ang kanilang paboritong kantahin ay ang kanta ni Lucas Graham na 7 years old dahil it resonates daw their dreams and their process of growing up. Jo and Coach Mark?
Thank you very much for that report, Rinoa. I love that one. Again, you know, we all know these are basketball players, but again, they have life outside the court, and playing billiards apparently is one of them, and listening to Once I Was 7 Years Old.
Can you sing it for us, Cho?
I already sang it, already a part of it. And again, these are young kids at the end of the day.
That's true. They're only 16. Max. 16 years old max. So we have 15-year-olds here, maybe 14 even.
You want them to improve, but at the end of the day, you really can't pressure them. But as we've been, you know, making some talks right here, both teams able to nab a bucket. But that time, that's a miss from Umali. We're now at 10-7. And here goes Abay, nowhere to go, sends it out.
Quick reflexes there by Cho Pangilinan, deflecting the basketball.
Indeed.
Last touched by Cho Pangilinan.
If anyone wants, if any team in the 21 under needs a point guard, don't contact me. Meanwhile, 3-point lead for Antipolo. Delizo, unable to finish. How do you like that one? They're able to identify Delizo again. One of, probably gonna be one of the primary contributors. Here comes Bulacan. Inside, the tough shot. That won't go in. They get it back. Another try. The bump. Good defense coming from Duterte. And the steal right here. Here goes Abay. Tough shot. That won't fall. Still no good on the follow-up. Now Bulacan able to draw a foul.
It's been quite the pace being set by these two teams. Pero Cho, alam mo naman, dapat matandaan nila ng buhay ay hindi karera.
Sample nga, coach.
Si Rinoa na lang.
Right now, you know, looks like Bulacan listening to Coach Mark's advice as they set up the offense, but that is a steal from Umali. Abay, now to Delizo. Oh, able to pick his pocket was Bulacan. Here they go, Bautista. Attacking. The spin against a sturdy Duterte. But nonetheless, Bulacan will convert courtesy of Carlito Liban.
It's a great response here from Bulacan coming off that timeout. 6-0 run.
Delizo fires for three. Won't connect. And a foul going to be called on Bulacan. So that's a tough matchup again. You were the one pushed, but you were the one called for a foul. That's Duterte for you.
I mean, it's easy to say that you're going to defend Direct Duterte and try to stop him. It's another thing to actually do it.
There's no free throws. So there's a 1-point lead for Antipolo. Here they go. Cordon receives it. They're setting up the offense. Orga firing from deep. In and out for him. Liban. Now to his teammate Bautista. Getting fouled by Mayor. So 2 free throws coming up for Bautista.
Good forward pass there by Bulacan to guys running the wing, getting 2 free throws. But for Antipolo, you have to get Direct Duterte some touches near the basket. He won't be a weapon for you if he does not have the basketball.
And he is indeed the reason why Antipolo is top 3 in points in the paint per game so far in our 16 and under division. Certainly a strength that Antipolo should hold on to facing a undefeated team in Bulacan. Bautista, second one on its way, unable to give his team the lead. Offensive board though, still off the mark. They get it back once again. Another try, still won't go. They get it back. Another one, and still no conversion, but they get it one more time, and still nothing, but they get it one more time. And they choose to go outside this time. And that'll be a shot clock violation. Good part on Antipolo.
I mean, it's good that you're getting offensive rebounds, but you have to convert. And if you're Antipolo, can't be just giving up plays and watching the ball fall in the hands of a guy in white.
And Bulacan in the top 5 in rebounds per game in the 16 under division. So expect them to really crash the boards. Meanwhile, Orga attacks, losing it. And here goes Bulacan. Hernandez on the other side, fading away, able to convert. Their top 1 in fast break points per game as well. But that's a department that Antipolo should look into. But meanwhile, let's take another look. Almost losing it, fades away from the bucket of the glass. Still scoring is Hernandez. Nature Spring timeout called right here. Back to the action right here. 2-point gap, Bulacan still with the upper hand. As that last play again, orchestrated by Mr. Hernandez. But this time, Antipolo having possession. Over 3 minutes remaining. Orga, the pick, still with him. Good passing from Antipolo. Ends up with a mid-range jumper. That won't go in. 3 minutes. Liban has it. Up top, sends it to the wing. inside the paint, nowhere to go. Another send out. Liban against Cordon. Now to the other wing. Hernandez inside, drawing a foul.
Bad foul there by Antipolo. Shot clock was running down on JT Bulacan Taipan.
Still with Bulacan, Hernandez sideline inbound, finding his teammates. Now up top, shot clock at 10. Hapa finds Liban, still up top. Now it's inside the perimeter. Tough shot, that won't go in. Rebound, Cordon. Here they go, Antipolo. Cordon de Hesi against Hernandez. Being harassed by Hernandez, but sends it out to Orga. Jubilado looking to provide the pick. He does, as Orga with a crossover. Losing the leather once again. Here comes Liban. Shot clock at 15. Hapa. Tough shot. Still won't go for Bulacan. Buenaflor attacking, losing it once again. Both teams just getting the basketball from each other as Hernandez drops it. And finally a conversion plus a foul for JT Bulacan Taipan, courtesy of John Lord Cruz. As we take another look in this pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move.
Great passing there. And John Lord Cruz not making sure that he doesn't waste that one more chance on that basket.
One more chance indeed, this time at the free throw line with a bonus freebie. Make that a 5-point lead for JT Bulacan Taipan. Meanwhile, Orga, almost a turnover. It continues to be Cruz. Now to Hapa. Liban inside. Now to Cruz once again. The bump. Sends it out. Liban for three. Rips the ropes on that shot.
So far, the 16 under counterparts of Bulacan not having a problem offensively.
Jubilado. And it's Antipolo struggling offensively in the past minutes, but a turnover caused by Bulacan.
On the bench of Antipolo asking for a foul on that last attempt by Antipolo. Won't get any love. But they do force a turnover.
47 seconds remaining in our opening chapter. 8-point gap. Bulacan still with the upper hand. Here goes Abay for Antipolo. Picked up by Liban. Butterfingers, but catch by Senyo now. Corner three-pointer. That is good. Coming from Buenaflor.
And the Selly after.
How do you like the confidence of these kids? Meanwhile, tough shot. A foul going to be called. So it's Bulanadi going to the free throw line. First one on its way, 21 seconds remaining. First one is good for Mr. Bulanadi. Able to cut it to 6. Rather, increase it to 6. And increases it to 7. Shot clock is off. Senyo to Buenaflor. Possession going to stay with the Titans. 15 seconds remaining. Senyo looking to be the one to send it out. Sideline inbound. Hapa bothering him. Now it's with Abay. Last 10 seconds and wait a minute. An 8-second call.
Antipolo did not recognize that they only had a couple seconds to get the ball across half court. That's why they get called for that. Now Bulacan with the chance to pad on to the lead here.
Here comes Liban for Bulacan. Picked up by Abay. Last 7 seconds. Liban sends it to Cruz. Fading away. Off the mark. That'll end our opening chapter. 20-13. 7-point gap. Bulacan still in the driver's seat. An eternity of basketball still to be played. As me and Coach Mark shall return. And once again, this is your Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na sugod. Junior MPBL para sa'yo, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. Liga ng bayan na to.
Back to the action right here for the start of our second period in this battle between the JT Bulacan Taipan and the Antipolo JY Tyrants. 7-point lead, Bulacan in the driver's seat. Certainly a good offensive first quarter, Coach Mark, for Bulacan.
Indeed, in terms of their shot selection, they made a concerted effort getting the ball in the paint. They forced some turnovers, which they converted with layups. That's why they're scoring well.
And hopefully they'll be able to continue. But Antipolo defending right now in this possession. And that is erased. The fast break right here. Senyo, no good at that soft touch. Still won't go for Abay. On the other side, JT Bulacan is running. Still won't fall for them. Sloppy offense so far for Antipolo. But right now, a foul going to be called on Bulacan.
You're looking at the defense of Bulacan. It's very physical, very quick. They like to trap. And the problem now for Antipolo is whether or not they can sustain and be able to catch or at least try to break the press here of Bulacan, because they're having problems even inbounding the basketball. Look at that.
Problems indeed. But right now it's Abay unable to convert for them. On the other side, they attack the lane. That is good, courtesy of number 22, Gerald Bautista.
You can see the difference between the two teams. You know, Bulacan is playing with a lot of power, with a lot of strength. And Antipolo, barring that layup, which was good, they were a bit hesitant.
Take another look on that great move. Pound for pound fitness foul counted move courtesy of Jeremiah Jubilado as he takes this bonus free throw. But now let's turn it over first to Mr. Noah Sanchez for a report.
Opportunities is one-by-one opening for Jeremiah Jubilado of Antipolo JY Titans, from being awarded with full scholarship of UST Rolling Tigers to being exposed to this kind of league. Ang sabi niya ay pangarap niya na raw ito, hindi lamang ng kanyang sarili pati ng kanyang mga magulang, dahil ang kanyang ama ay dating naglalaro sa iba't ibang liga. Let us see if more doors will open for him after this game, Cho and Coach Mark.
Thank you very much, Renoa. And again, that is what Junior MPBL is known for, giving kids opportunities outside this league.
And that's the beauty of having a platform like the Junior MPBL. Of course, all credit goes to the good Senator Manny Pacquiao and our bosses, Keith Picasso, Boss JR, and giving these kids the opportunity exactly to do that, get a better future because of their skill and their talent in basketball. You know, get this exposure, and they're recognized, and now kids are going to schools like UST.
Furthermore, again, not only are they benefiting, but the parents as well, you know. It's a big help to the parents of these kids to have their kids get a scholarship.
Exactly.
As we see Delizo registering from deep and able to cut the lead to just 6. Meanwhile, on the other side, no, that's a steal coming from Bulanadi. And here goes Bulacan, the drop pass, good play. That is Buko with a conversion.
The defense really, right now, Bulacan has to get down, and they're lucky that Antipolo missed that layup.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Gonzalez. This time, Bulanadi. Now, Cruz. Behind the back, sends it out. Bulanadi. High pass. Oh, the conversion this time. It's Gerald Bautista once again. Make that a double-digit lead for Bulacan. 10 to be exact, under 7 minutes remaining, as a Nature Spring timeout is going to be called right here. We take another look. High pass. Again, Gerald Bautista converting for Bulacan. Back to the action right here after that Nature Spring timeout. But now let's thank our sponsors, Pound for Pound Fitness, Doride Bola ng Pinoy, Pound Active, Wing Bowl, Nature Spring, Jinky Skin, Chris Jacobs, and Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava. And once again, we've talked about giving opportunities to these kids a while ago. You know, we would like everyone to tune in to the upcoming Junior MPBL 21 Under D League that will start mid-July. And definitely more opportunities this time for the not-so-young men of Philippine basketball.
Oh,
Meanwhile, Delizo escapes for two.
Bulacan just watched Delizo go all the way to the hoop and didn't even try to challenge him.
Talk about getting caught sleeping on defense. And I won't blame them because it's quite breezy here in our Antipolo Sports Hub. As Gonzalez finds the cutting Buko, but he's unable to convert. And Duterte late on that response, resulting to a foul.
And Antipolo right now, they're doing fine. They're only down 8 points because of some of these mistakes by Bulacan. But at the rate that Bulacan is playing, again, with power, with a lot of aggressiveness, it's a matter of time before Antipolo will probably collapse. And Antipolo has to address this by getting the ball down to direct Duterte.
And Coach Mark, you've mentioned aggressiveness and power inside. Perhaps that's the reason why Bulacan is top 5 in points in the paint per game in our 16 under division. As Buko, 0 out of 2. Meanwhile, they get it back. Gonzalez. That was intended for Gerald Bautista but goes out of bounds.
Well, Duterte only with 0 points and 2 rebounds.
The other side, Jubilado, not wasting any time, unable to convert though. They get it back. Gonzalez, high pass. They're able to catch it inside. Bautista not connecting that time. But a steal right here and a fire one. That won't hit. Sloppy offense, actually for both teams.
For both teams, Joe. Very sloppy the past couple minutes here.
So we're nearing our 5-minute mark in our second chapter. Delizo so far has been the main man, but will make that bad pass. So a lot of swipe away, some deflections, resulting to a lot of whistles.
In Duterte, he looks a bit frustrated because he's been running up and down, not really getting the basketball. He has to play defense against a bigger front line for Bulacan.
And I don't think that's something he's always encountering because he's already big as it is.
Exactly.
Talking about Duterte, the leading scorer of his squad with 14.5 points per game. Meanwhile, here comes the attack by Hernandez.
Again, the aggressiveness of Bulacan really paying off because there's no really shot blocker aside from direct Duterte.
Speaking of Duterte with the spin move and that lay-in.
You can't go wrong when you get him the basketball, Joe.
perhaps that's what Antipolo will learn going forward. But right now, turnover by Bulacan, possession going back to Duterte and his teammates. And to add to those, or to the 14-point average of Duterte, it also averages 8 rebounds rather per game. And 1 block as we see the turnover. Hernandez pulls up for 3. Won't connect. Still with him. Inside to Cruz. John Lord. Not that time. 2 fouls. Rather 2 free throws coming in for him.
And so far, this marquee matchup between John Lord Cruz and Direct Duterte hasn't really materialized into anything. Cruz has 3 points, 3 rebounds. Duterte 2 points, 3 rebounds. So essentially, they've negated each other.
As Cruz, first one is good. Again, still an eternity of basketball to be played. A lot of chance for both of these guys, Duterte and Cruz, to contribute big time for their squads. Again, Antipolo 4-1, third in their standings. Ito namang Bulacan, much like their 18 under counterparts, 5-0 first in the North Division. 2 out of 2 for John Lord Cruz. Abay attacks. Not that time, says John Lord Cruz, but Duterte still won't go after that offensive board. And a foul going to be called on Delizo. So far, it's a 10-point lead for Bulacan. And talking about Antipolo, 3 players averaging in double figures. Duterte with 14.5, Delizo with almost 12, and Senyo with 10, as that is a bucket coming from Liban.
Liban looking like JJ Helterbrand or Mark Agiwa out there with that pull-up in the mid-range.
Meanwhile, they try to save it, but possession going back. And not to mention the red jerseys, the red and black jerseys.
Yeah. He just needs the headband now.
Gotta love the style. Again, he's a 16-year-old already having colored hair.
You had colored hair, Cho.
Yeah, but I was at 16. But who can blame him? It's the
Ooh.
vacation.
It is. So in a couple of months, he has to cut it out or get it dyed back to black.
Yeah, expect him, or let's expect him to have a different hairdo. But right now,
Maybe in the playoffs.
a different kind of Liban. Right now, the free throw line, his first one is no good. And it's definitely a different time, Coach Mark, no? With these 16-year-olds at max having colored hair, some tattoos.
Yeah, some kids here have tattoos at as early as 16.
Definitely a change of culture. Ikaw ba, Coach, nung 16 ka, ano sasabihin nila kung may tattoo ka?
Naku. I don't want to talk about it. I probably won't have a place to go home to.
And again, just a testament of how times have changed.
Good boy tayo, Cho. Good boy kasi. Basketball lang.
Basketball lang yung naatupag ni Coach Mark. Meanwhile, nearing our 2-minute mark of our second period, and a steal right here. Breakaway layup courtesy of Mark Sorsano.
Yeah, things getting out of hand here for Antipolo. They can't even get the ball past half court. And their best player only has 2 points.
Again, Bulacan top 1 in the fast break points per game. You don't want to let them get those steals, but Duterte muscling his way inside, Coach Mark.
Direct Duterte just out-muscling John Lord Cruz there.
Meanwhile, oh, that is erased. Huh. Still with them as Cruz unable to knock that down. Out of bounds, possession going to Antipolo.
I mean, again, Antipolo a bit lucky there because that was an open shot for John Lord Cruz from the outside.
Over a minute remaining in our second period. Make that a 13-point lead for Bulacan. Senyo, the bump, and a foul called on Francisco.
I like the ball pressure of Bulacan, and they're picking up full court. But the problem is, once that ball passes half court, feels like nobody's helping their teammate defensively. You see here, Antipolo, when they're able to cross the ball, they can get to the hole without any resistance.
So definitely there's a right way to play pressure defense. So is it safe to say, Coach Mark, you shouldn't pour all your energy when the ball's on the other side of the court?
It goes back to that saying, work smart, not work hard. You have to be smart when you pressure the ball. It doesn't take just the quickness or the speed.
That's certainly what Bulacan will have to learn. Meanwhile, Duterte, high pass. Cordon receives it. Not looking at his teammates, but will make the basket.
Slowly but surely, Antipolo making some headway, forcing turnovers.
All is not lost for the Titans. Meanwhile, Liban sends it to the cutting teammate. Nowhere to go. Francisco puts one up. Gets the side of the backboard. Duterte. Oh, what a pass right there to Agustin. Touchdown!
On the money, Direct Duterte.
Looking like a quarterback with those passes. Meanwhile, Francisco and Bulacan struggling to hold the leather. Liban inside. Oh, nothing you could do.
Tough make by John Lord Cruz. Twisting and hanging in the air.
Last 2 seconds. Cordon, is he aware? He's not. And that will end our first half. 40-30. Double-digit lead, 10 to be exact for the Bulacan. JT Taipan. As we take another look on our halftime score, 40-30. That bucket coming from John Lord Cruz, that acrobatic one. Me and Coach Mark shall return, as once again this is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines. Pound for pound fitness, be Liga Ready. Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty. Pound Active, for quality sportswear. Wing Bowl, it's like coming home. Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes.
And at the half, it's 40-30. Again, a double-digit 10-point lead for the side of the Bulacan JT Taipan. But so far, it has been a sloppy offense for both teams. No one really finding their rhythm. But of course, we all hope that'll change in our second half.
It's been a fun first half. You know, the complete reversal of our first game in terms of offense. It's been up and down, but again, it feels like one of those teams that locks in, especially in terms of their defense, will probably make a big run, control the game. So far, it's been Bulacan who's been doing right that, with Hernandez with 13 points, Liban with 8, Cruz with 5, Delizo for Antipolo leading the way with 9, Umali, and you see there are 2 Umalis with 4 points. But again, who's missing, Cho? What name is missing there for Antipolo? I can't stress that enough because he needs touches, he needs the basketball. And for Antipolo to be successful in this game, Direct Duterte needs more touches, he needs to score.
I agree with you, Coach. And every time they do send it to Duterte inside,
He's scoring.
exactly, nothing could go wrong if you give it to Duterte. But then again, if you're Bulacan, you said it, Coach, you know, whoever gets the first run will probably, you know, just get away with the win. And Bulacan is the perfect team to do that. Again, they're top 1 in fast break points per game. And, you know, a couple of fast breaks, a couple of breakaway layups, that's enough for them to really get away with a W.
And we've been seeing it from them. Even if it's not from a fast break, even from a missed shot, or a turnover, or even a made shot by Antipolo, they're running the other way. They haven't really done any half-court sets to speak of. And that's really their strength because you have kids who can really go up and down the floor. You have athletes like John Lord Cruz manning the paint. Why not go to your strength?
Is it safe to say, Coach, Duterte is relatively having a hard game because, again, he's matched up with a fellow big guy in John Lord Cruz?
It is. Then his length, John Lord's length, is causing some problems for Direct Duterte, especially with the rebounding because we know Direct Duterte is a monster in offensive rebounds. But so far, John Lord Cruz has taken it to himself to really negate the impact of Direct Duterte. But on the other hand, you could say the same about Duterte, negating the impact of John Lord Cruz. Because their stats, right now, John Lord Cruz, 5 points, Direct Duterte, 4 points.
Definitely no one is necessarily dominating
Yeah.
each other. They cancel out each other, just like what you said.
But what's crucial now for Antipolo is they have to do a better job negating the aggressiveness and the strength of this Bulacan team because Bulacan, you know, regardless of numbers on the break, regardless of what they're doing on offense, they're attacking at will to the basket, and it tires out the defense of Antipolo to the point that probably in the fourth quarter their guards could give out because the Bulacan guards are no joke to guard. On the other end, if you're Bulacan, you have to be wary of how determined this Antipolo team is, and they still have that ace in the hole with Direct Duterte in the paint.
And definitely, there's always that choice to go to Duterte whenever they're in tight situations, whenever they have nowhere to go. But again, that'll be the task of John Lord Cruz to stop Duterte and vice versa.
It's been a fun matchup watching them in the paint.
We approach our third period. And a quick steal.
Quick hands. That's so great to watch. A guy who can pressure like that. Liban already now with 10 points.
But on the other side, Duterte able to convert. That's what we've been talking
There
about.
you go. And that's a good sign for Bulacan. Excuse me, for Antipolo. Early touch for Duterte.
Meanwhile, mid-range jumper, that is smooth, courtesy of Justin Hapa. Meanwhile, Agustin getting harassed. But that time, that is a foul called on Hernandez.
And the problem for the offense of Antipolo, they don't have a true point guard. When we talk about it, the point guard is not just somebody who can bring down the ball. A point guard is somebody who can set it up and find the right people on offense. And they don't have that there. Not yet, anyway.
Meanwhile, 1 minute gone by in our third period. Still a 12-point lead, double-digit lead for Bulacan. But right now, Antipolo finding Umali. Oh, the steal right here by Hapa. Here they go, Libang to Umali. Oh, another Umali for Bulacan.
What was John Lord doing there? Did he just want to show off the hops?
I'd like to think he did that, you know, to avoid falling all of a sudden, but nonetheless, it's a technical foul.
And the problem there is it's technical and the personal, so it's funny now, but you know, that thing really tends to pile up.
It'll be Abay at the free throw line, but that is off the mark for him.
And so when you see kids like that who react on a missed shot, body language, you know, as a coach, you try to correct that. You don't want to see body language because body language like that, it's infectious. Negativity is infectious.
You know, all vibes are infectious, you know,
Yes.
positivity, negativity.
True. Keep the vibes high.
That's what you'd like. It's Bulacan now. Shot clock down to 12. Umali drops it. John Lord Cruz against Duterte. Sends it out. Liban for 3. Won't fall. Rebound by no one as it goes out of bounds.
And another facet of the game that Antipolo has been struggling with have been the offensive rebounds. In the first half, they allowed 12 offensive rebounds for Bulacan.
And we've talked about that. Bulacan is top 5 in rebounds per game. As Umali will miss for Antipolo.
Look at that. 3 guys immediately running downhill.
No words for the hustle. You know, this kind of running coming from Bulacan, quick to anticipate the pass. If you're the coach of Bulacan, you definitely love what you just witnessed. Again, Coach Mark said 3 guys on the other side preparing to get the basketball. As a Nature Spring timeout going to be called by Coach Mario Gotera. Back to the action right here as we can see Andorite, bola ng Pinoy. Of course, set up by our cameraman, Mr. Alex Trazo. Right now, let me thank our sponsors first. Pound for Pound Fitness, Dorite, bola ng Pinoy, Pound Active, Wing Bowl, Nature Spring, Jinky Skin, Chris Jacobs, and Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava. 16-point lead, Bulacan in the driver's seat. Meanwhile, Mayor able to put it in.
And interesting that Dairo Duterte now on the bench early in the third. But Antipolo makes a basket, so that's good for them.
Hapa for 3. That won't connect. Another offensive board for Bulacan.
That's 13 now.
They will have to box out again. This Bulacan team is known for their rebounding prowess.
And that's tough because you're looking at the line of Bulacan. They have small guards, but you're looking at the forwards. They're all tall, long, and lanky and athletic.
And now let's turn it over to Ms. Renoa Sanchez for a report.
Kanina nakausap natin si Coach Zalde at sabi niya ay wala silang big man ngayong araw or for the past games dahil kalalabas lang ni John Rain de la Cruz galing sa ospital dahil ito ay nagkaroon ng dengue. When asked about their standing, ang sabi niya habang mas lalo daw silang nananalo ay mas lalo lamang silang nape-pressure. Cho and Coach Mark?
Thank you very much, Mr. Noah Sanchez, for that report. And indeed, sometimes pressure can really be a bad thing for a player.
It determines the character of somebody. That's the thing with pressure, you know. The old saying, pressure turns coals into diamonds. So it's either you give in or you blossom into a diamond.
Definitely, it'll be your choice how to react to that. Meanwhile, off the glass fade away from Gerald Bautista.
Great pass by John Lord Cruz coming off dengue. That's tough. And he's playing at a very high level right now.
And dengue is no
John
joke.
Rain de la Cruz, excuse me. Good thing, not John Lord. But still, he's playing at a high level. And dengue is no fun.
Exactly. I mean, I had dengue dati. Meanwhile, as we're talking about dengue, someone else is, curing the sickness of Bulacan. Well, Antipolo, nowhere to go. Great defense coming from the red shirts. Counter steal by Orga. Jubilado has it, losing it to Hapa.
Great hands once again.
Gerald Bautista, the fake, the pass. Cruz able to muscle his way in.
Now without Direct Duterte inside, it's free game for John Lord de la Cruz. But some color. Much to do about nothing there.
Looks like some extracurricular activity. But nonetheless, it's a foul going to be called on Bulacan. Right now it's a 19-point lead for Bulacan. Again, that has been the effect of the defense they've been implementing, getting the steals, getting the fast break points. As Antipolo adding salt to the wound with that turnover. And here they go. Bulacan looking to add more. And it's smooth coming from Haba inside the key mid-range jumper. That pretty much sums up so far the game of Antipolo. They've been sloppy with everything.
I told you, Cho, this aggressiveness by Bulacan will overwhelm Antipolo at one point or another, and it's already happening.
I agree with you, Coach Mark, to the point that, the only players fighting for the basketball are two players from Bulacan.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then obviously you have a problem now. Duterte back in. It's now 23.
Not the best situation for Antipolo. Then again, they still have under 5 minutes to play and one more full quarter after this. All hope is not lost. Then again, if you're Antipolo, you really wanna do something. You wanna come up with something out of nothing.
And they have to come up with it quick. They're down 23 points.
And wait a minute.
Confusion on possession, but stays with Antipolo.
Jubilado steps on the line. That is a long two, won't sink. Bulacan and the confidence to pull up from three. You see, Coach Mark.
I mean, enough said. The smallest guy on the floor gets the offensive rebound.
Meanwhile,
And that's offensive foul. He should have gone to his left early. But that's the thing with Duterte. When we watched him play, that's usually how he gets his rhythm, with the bump right there. And see the illegal extension of the elbow gets called for the offensive foul.
Illegal indeed. Again, that pretty much sums up as well the game, you know. They've been really aggressive, but it wasn't really enough. Because now it's Cruz inside. He's not yet done.
Yeah, that's the problem because you take out Direk Duterte. Now John Lord Cruz has a lot of confidence. Starting to eat.
They have no answer for that guy. I mean, you know, he can grab the board, he can operate inside, he can knock down those mid-range jumpers.
Now he's up to 11 points. And
You see Coach Mario Gotera having discussions with the officials.
that's probably a lot of frustration as well by Coach Mario because most likely this is not how he envisioned his team playing here today.
And again, Antipolo is a top team, third in the standings right now with a record of 4-1. Definitely not the expected output for Coach Mario.
Yeah, but this aggressiveness, this wave of guys in red and white just overwhelming here in the third quarter, and Antipolo not really helping their case because they have 21 turnovers, which Bulacan has converted into 31 points.
That is such a good ratio.
And it's half the score of Bulacan.
That, again, that's a big implication. Half of those points coming merely from that department. And adding again salt to the wound is that technical foul called on Coach Mario Gutera and the bench of Antipolo. Right now we're looking at the potential 30-point lead. Duterte still struggling. He settled for a three. The three-point attempts hasn't really been connecting for them. They're able to get the steal as Duterte struggling. Another try. Basket and one. For Direk Duterte, perhaps this is the footing that he needs to really get across. As you see this pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move.
Shoves a Bulacan player out of the way. Excuse me, this ball is mine.
I mean, you know, if you were in his position, I'm sure sobrang gigil ka din eh.
Yeah, you want to try and help your team get back in this game.
But right now, Bulacan looking to foil the plans of Antipolo. So that's a foul. Good thing for Antipolo, they still have a foul to give. Gonzalez sideline inbound. Bulacan. Cruz still in the ball game. Looks like they want to seal the deal early. Still with them inside to Cruz. Be able to catch it. Mid-ranger. That won't fall. On the other side, Orga.
Oh, unlucky. But still 2 free throws.
It hasn't been the day for Antipolo. Definitely they want to catch a break. So far, Duterte, underwhelming performance for the big guy. Just barely in double figures with 9. Orga will miss the free throw. Antipolo just really not succeeding in almost every department.
And you're looking at the quarter scoring, so it is now 24-10 in this quarter alone for Bulacan.
That has gotta hurt. For Bulacan, you've scored 20 or more points in all quarters of this ball game, outscoring Antipolo in each. Gonzalez sends it inside. That is erased by Cordon. As Antipolo gains possession. Perhaps they have the confidence they need. Orga to big boy Duterte, getting fouled.
Where was that in the first quarter? right? That's the question that begs to be answered right now for Antipolo. Where were the touches for Big Boy Duterte in the first quarter?
Certainly a controversial thing that we're thinking about, but again, Duterte, you know, nothing could go wrong with him if you give him the basketball underneath the paint.
Exactly. The only time he's missed is that one layup which he got and then got a three-point play.
And now he's in double figures with 10. Now Bulacan now also has reached the foul limit. Antipolo still one more foul to give. Quite a slow quarter we're having right here. And definitely the slowest day for Antipolo. Surely they're wishing this is all a dream. That's a traveling violation on Francisco.
And now that the pace has kind of slowed down, Bulacan having a harder time trying to execute in the half court. And Antipolo needs to take advantage of this in the last minute. Maybe cut this down below 20 points.
Right now, Orga.
Oh.
That is erased. No ID, no entry, says John Lord Cruz, but Duterte turning garbage into gold. On the other side, that has been their sickness.
That's tough because you just get the basket and you give one up.
They really can't afford to keep exchanging buckets right now. They're down by a lot. On the other side, though, Duterte for Antipolo.
So Duterte is getting his points here. He has 14. But again, they're still down 23, Cho.
Still a big margin. You're entering the fourth quarter with this kind of lead, not necessarily the most confidence boosting. And speaking of, I'm sure that kind of shot will erase any confidence you have left.
Ouch.
Ouch, enough said. That'll do it at the end of 3 quarters. 69 to 45. Let's take a look on what transpired right here. Bulacan really just turning on the Jets, pressing on that button. And me and Coach Mark shall return for our Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. We return to the action for the start of our 4th and final period. So far, Bulacan dominating this ball game. And what a way to dominate this ball game. The best place to dominate a team in their home court. (69 to 45). Still Bulacan, playing their main guys, not looking to slow down anytime soon.
Now, of course, if you're Bulacan, you want to make sure that you get out of here with a dub. You don't want to risk anything to chance.
Meanwhile, Antipolo not having any chance at all. Will miss the mark. Bautista bumping Duterte, the spin. He's inside the paint. 3-second call on him.
I don't know how smart it is to, get in the paint and bump with direct Duterte. Won't get you anywhere, and only thing you get is a turnover.
And again, that's a testament to the effect of Duterte. He is really a force inside the paint. But again, we're all scratching our heads on why they're not finding Duterte as much as we want them to. On the The other side though, Duterte gets one in.
I mean, it's automatic. Every time he gets the ball, he gets 2 points.
Perhaps Antipolo will now look into him. This time, Hernandez fading away from the bucket. That won't fall. Another fadeaway. This time, it's Hapa.
It's a one-legged fadeaway a la Dirk Nowitzki.
And again, just the rhythm, just the efficiency of shots for Bulacan. And talk about the fast break points as well.
Liban once again getting steal after steal.
And nothing could be said about Antipolo JY Titans. No, aside from the fact that all game long they have been really sloppy with the basketball and they're not finding Duterte.
I'm looking at the stats for, that's Liban off the bench. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. That's impressive.
Just generating off the bench, removing the pressure from your starters. That's a big deal. Quality minutes for him. Meanwhile though, Delizo able to score for Antipolo. But it's still a 28-point lead for Bulacan. All sorts of problems right here for Antipolo as they get the first foul of our fourth period.
And Liban has just been creating havoc on defense and on offense. That time, getting the ball downhill, throwing 3 help defenders, and finding the cutter for a layup.
See Gerald Bautista, again, another name that we've been mentioning a lot in this ball game.
Been solid as well. 11 points now, 5 rebounds, 4 assists.
3 players actually for them in double figures. How do you like that one? Nature Sprain timeout called by Coach Mario Gutera as they're down by a bunch. Under 8 minutes remaining in our fourth and final period as we take another look. The steal, fast break points, +2 for Mr. Hapa and Bulacan. We shall take a short break. Back to the action right here as Antipolo continues the struggling ways. And now Bulacan implementing that full court defense, and they're not stopping, but a conversion on the other side.
Sometimes it can be that easy for the press break, but not often enough for Antipolo.
Bulacan setting up the offense. Again, still their main guys inside. No John Lord Cruz, but still there's Hernandez, Bautista, and Liban.
Well, Liban just getting a bit too fancy with a crossover, dribbling it off his foot.
Meanwhile, Delizo escaping, and they need more of those.
They need maybe 3 dozen of those right now.
Hernandez looked at his defender while making that shot. That is off the mark. Possession to the side of Antipolo.
And sometimes, when you're Bulacan, you can live with those mistakes. A missed layup, especially when you have a 24-point lead. But this is what got you this lead in the first place. Being aggressive and not stopping how you play is crucial. Not changing the way you play, regardless of the score, is very important.
Consistency is definitely crucial for a team. Good to see Bulacan continuing with that. Meanwhile, under 7 minutes remaining, Antipolo. Again, just has been struggling. Understatement actually is the word struggling. Safe to say this has not been their day. But they still have possession right here. Agustin sends it out. The steal, almost a steal, but Delizo able to catch it. Now it's Duterte backing down the paint, able to convert.
Unstoppable. That's just the word for Direct Duterte when he gets the ball down there. I want to see him match up with guys like Chelo Lumage, right? And the other tall boys of that Cavite team.
And you know, Duterte, again, they will have to find him because so far that's only the thing that worked for them. You see Agustin block a shot this time. Hapa pulling up. Oh, that is smooth. What can you do?
It's just turning out to be one of those days for Bulacan. And no matter what you do as Antipolo, no matter what pressure you bring, it's just confidence is there.
And for Antipolo, no matter what you do, does it work? Aside from the fact when you give it to Direct Duterte.
I don't think confidence is a problem for young Duterte.
Meanwhile though, Agustin at the break against Liban, able to convert. So at least compared to the previous quarters, Antipolo has been somewhat performing better, but they're still down by a bunch. Cruz, John Lord attacking. Too big, too strong.
Look at him sprint down. Like he just made his first basket and get down in position for defense.
Getting that kid excited. Meanwhile, Liban, this time it's Cruz once again. Slams it home!
16 under, right, Cho? 16 under.
I had to read our screens once again to verify if we were indeed in the 16 under.
Oh, careful.
Take another look as John Lord Cruz climbing up the ladder for that rim grazer.
It's a dunk. We'll call it a dunk. It went in. Still impressive.
Definitely. Again, I think that also sums up the game of Bulacan, you know, that's really dominating the paint.
And what the second half for John Lord Cruz? In the first half, he was more focused on defending Direct Duterte. Now that his teammates have done a great job scoring and defending, he has really let loose and broken this game open with his aggressiveness.
Not to mention that dunk really, you know, imposed a statement. As we see Coach Mario Gotera and the officials having another discussion. And I'm sure deciding who our best player will be if Bulacan wins will definitely be a struggle.
It's a struggle because a lot of kids here for Bulacan have played very well. So you want to make sure, you know, that the guy that deserves it. Ooh, what a block.
That was a good block, but then again, that has been what Antipolo is lacking all throughout the game. The awareness. They're able to get stops, but, you know, those kinds of things. Sabi mo nga, Coach, kanina, the smallest guy getting the rebound, the offensive rebound pa. As Hernandez fading away, that rolls out of the rim. On the other side, Agustin able to lay on, will not be able to lay it in. As Bautista, oh, they're not yet done. They're still attacking. And Cruz still scoring. You have no words for this Bulacan squad. 28-point lead. You know, they've been devouring.
Devouring is the right term. So they came in and they ate. Talking
Exactly.
about Bulacan.
Nothing more, nothing less.
They prepared well. Their coaching staff prepped them very well. They knew how Antipolo played. And they knew they had to put a bigger defender on Direct Duterte to start the game. And it was very effective.
Talking about doing your assignment, sticking to the game plan, you know, combining it with the hustle as well in defending, getting the steals. It's no wonder why this Bulacan squad is an undefeated team.
They're just showing why they're undefeated, and they're showing the reason why they can remain undefeated in this North Division. Because, if you're taking out the third seed who only has one loss here, and that's a great job, especially by the coaches. Look at that.
Again, they're far from done. They're gonna play until that last buzzer sounds.
I've always imagined what it would look like if you had two Mark Nonoys on one team, and Bulacan is just showing me what happens when you have two Mark Nonoys on a team. You have Liban, you have Umali. They're just too quick. And you have Hernandez, just as quick as well. It really, it goes back to that saying, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, and that's what happened to Antipolo. They had the game plan coming in, but the speed and the overwhelming aggressiveness of this Bulacan team just really took them out.
Again, really, nothing you could do against these guys. Tatlo sila, ouch.
Tatlo talaga.
Everyone's
It's like
swarming at you.
a tsunami of fast breaks.
But definitely the dream backcourt of coaches.
Small but terrible.
And not to mention the mid-range shooting of Hapa as well.
And then you have John Lord inside the paint.
And it even mentioned him.
Exactly.
Even forgot about that guy when in fact he has been, he made a dunk in this game and he forgot to mention him.
But we gotta credit Liban, who came off the bench, came in, really was the engine that fueled this non-stop attack of the Bulacan JT Taipan. And non-stop is the right word because they're not stopping.
Exactly. I was about to say non-stop is the perfect description for this Bulacan squad. This is a matchup nightmare for the upcoming teams. If you're gonna play Bulacan, first advice probably from me, kailangan matulog ng maaga.
Matulog ang maaga.
Back to the action right here as we're nearing the end of our ball game in Bulacan, nearing that 100-point mark. And with this potential loss, Antipolo will go 4-2. Let's check the standings right here. They're currently at 3, but again, if they go 4-2, I believe they're going to slide down to the 4th place. Just one place down. And it's relatively early in our season, still a lot of chances to find your footing and
Exactly.
to climb up the ladder in the rankings.
And Antipolo will be better because of this game against Bulacan. Bulacan is the measuring stick of the North Division here in 16 under. Now Antipolo knows what they need to do in terms of being able to stay with the top teams in their division. So that's something they can work on, something tangible that they have. And they can use this data and try to get better.
On the side of Bulacan, again, you're an undefeated team in the 16 under, but you're not alone. There's also the Quezon City 8-8 Junior Giants.
That's also a very good team. We all know Quezon City, always a powerhouse in any division.
So definitely, again, this win will really give you that confidence, but you should be prepared for this Quezon City squad.
And that's why you want that early exposure against Bulacan. So again, they're the measuring stick of the division. And right now, if you're Antipolo, you know what to do now. What it takes to stay with the top teams here in your division.
Well, you know the saying, Coach Mark, it's either you win or you learn.
And sadly, you also lose.
But that is the reality. You
Because
lose.
you get a mark there on the loss column.
But
There's no learn column over there. It's only win-loss.
so thank you for pointing that out.
No, but true. You learn. You have to learn.
So next time I'm gonna call it the win-learn column.
Just call it the W and the L.
So we'll be safe. So it's either you W or you L.
Exactly.
But right now, tough L for Antipolo. Ooh. And again, not to mention the three-point shooting of Bulacan. I mean, not their weapon, but,
It's there.
they have the option to take it. And again, if you're gonna ask me, I expect this Antipolo squad to find Duterte even more after this ball game.
It's going to be finding Duterte. That's the theme of their game plan moving forward.
And I'm sure it's gonna be easy because he's really big. But I think that will do it for our ball game. And yes, as we see already, this Bulacan squad celebrating. And that guy Liban, as you see in our screens, he has been unbelievable in this game.
That he was, and he really changed the tempo of this game with his defense, number one. He really showed what the full potential of this Bulacan JT Taipan team can be.
And that will wrap up our ball game, our final score, 67-96. A big margin, big time W for the Bulacan JT Taipan, remaining undefeated in the North Division of our 16 and under. And for Antipolo, they're gonna move down to the 4th in the standings. 4-2 record, still a winning record. No reason to press the panic button, but for now, Bulacan will go home with a smile. Again, our final score 96-67. And again, I've said it before. Looks like Coach Mark had a difficult time in choosing our best player of the game. But of course, he had to give his flowers to the guy that came out of nowhere, came out of the bench, and really saved Bulacan's day, or perhaps just sparked what Bulacan brought out in this ball game. And now, of course, we have Miss Renoa Sanchez to introduce to us our best player of the game.
Ngayong hapon kasama natin ang best player of the game mula sa Bulacan, JT Taipan. Once again, congratulations Carlito. Josh Liban producing 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. Kanina hindi ka kasama sa starting lineup, so tell me what's going through your mind pagpasok mo sa game.
Nakapokus lang po, sumunod lang po sa sistema nila coaches. Then, ayun po, nagtiwala po sa mga teammates. Then, ayun lang po.
In-expect mo ba na magiging best player of the game ka today?
Hindi po. Dahil po, hindi naman po masyado pumupuntos. Inisip lang po yung mga kasama. Ayun lang.
Ayan, baka may gusto kang pasalamatan na nanonood sa'yo ngayong araw.
Una-una po, maraming salamat po kay Lord. Binigyan po kami ng panalo. Ginabayan po kami sa laro namin ngayon. And maraming salamat po kay Boss Joventay, Boss Charles Kim po, Boss Jun Gadi, Boss Raymond Ong, Sanctuary of St. Maria Teresa School, Toda Action Party List. And sa mga coaches po, Coach Saldi, Coach Jason, Coach Ryan, and Coach Sherwin. And sa pamilya ko po, salamat po sa suporta. Sa mga kaibigan ko po dyan, St. John, thank you po.
Once again, congratulations, Mr. Liban. And we would also like to thank Don Benitos for providing a sumptuous Filipino delicacy to our best player of the game. Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasaba. Coach Mark?
Thank you very much, Ms. Renoa Sanchez. Once again, filling up the stat sheet is our Don Benito's best player of the game, Mr. Carlito Liban. Congratulations to the boys of Bulacan, but we still have one more game coming on your way. This time, it's the high-octane 14 under division, still in between the JT Bulacan Taipan and the Antipolo JUI Titans. Once again, it's Cho Pangilinan, Coach Mark Dandan, and this is your Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Liga ng bayan na to. sugod. Junior MPBL para sa'yo, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino, liga ng bayan na to. Klaro na to, huwag kang sumuko sa gustong gawin. Isang pangarap, isang tagumpay, yeah. Kabayad pag-asa ng bayan, landas pagbabago, pag-asa, ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero isang halaga, nagkakaisa, nagmamahalan.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes,